Look, man, players mess up too sometimes. Alright, I admit, y'all, I had to take a step back and really evaluate the situation because a lot of people were upset with my video earlier as we were reacting to Stephen A. Smith, Chris Canty, and Mina Kimes in the segment about trading Micah Parsons. Now, amidst me trying to get across the point that I would not actually trade Micah Parsons unless a team lost their mind and was willing to give people their whole franchise for a Micah Parsons. Like, they would literally have to give such an imbalanced trade that you would be a fool not to accept it for me to want to do something like that. I was trying to get that point across, but in the midst of that, I was trying to also make sure that I was being balanced in saying that, hey, none of these guys on this team are made men just yet. But in the midst of me doing that, it did come across as if I was hating a little bit. And I will admit, me being frustrated as a fan of the Dallas Cowboys, y'all. I'm a fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I got the star across my heart right now. Me being frustrated as a fan of the Dallas Cowboys because, quite frankly, I felt like our best player was kicking the team while we were down. We were watching Philadelphia in the damn Super Bowl. They just won the damn Super Bowl, and I'm having to see clips of Micah Parsons doing the Chief Tomahawk and, just doing the whole media row thing. And again, I'm going to make myself mad all over again sitting there bringing that up. I'm trying to get this back on the right track because some of my viewers, y'all got me back right. Y'all put me in my place. Y'all let me know, hey, man, hey. We get that you're upset, but damn, bro, you up here agreeing with Chris Canty. And no, I wasn't agreeing with Chris Canty, but I was getting too close to agreeing with somebody like a Chris Canty as it pertains to anything Dallas Cowboys. We know that man a hater, and I don't want to be aligned with no damn hater, so I got to make it very clear. And I need to make it very clear in this video. For one, I do apologize because I don't want to ever make it seem as if I am not in support of any of our Cowboys players. I am always in support of our Cowboys players. But I will say Micah did put me in somewhat of a pickle because I've never been put in a situation where one of the Cowboys were kind of cracking jokes on the Cowboys and kind of pointing and laughing at us with everyone else, with the rest of the crowd. I really didn't know how to take it. And as a fan, it still really doesn't sit right with me if I'm being completely honest. But I also know how to call a spade a spade. I don't want my content to come across as if I'm trying to smear a Micah Parsons or make him seem less than what he is. And in me trying to get my point across, I found myself too many times almost arguing against Micah Parsons. And that is not where I want to be at because I am in support of him. Guys, look. I literally just tweeted maybe a couple of months ago, Micah Parsons was my second favorite player in the entire NFL. I have been a major component as someone that's been pretty much like, hey, leave the kid alone, let him do his thing. I've been one of those people, but it kind of hit close to home when I felt like he was getting a little fast and loose with the podcast activity. But y'all are right. It is just podcast activity. The dude is still producing for the most part on the field, but I am also right in saying he needs to do it as well in the postseason when it counts. It can't just be in the regular season. It can't just be in week 17 against the Washington Commanders backup quarterback. It can't just be against the Carolina Panthers. It can't just be against the teams that really, at the end of the day, people forget about those games and you can't even really remember those moments where he had those big impacts. It can't just be those moments, and I still stand firm with that. And honestly, that goes for all the players across the board. We need these guys to step up. Let's be real, y'all. We just watched Zach Martin retire. We just seen yet another Dallas Cowboys legend have to retire and essentially call it quits without ever even getting close to a Lombardi. And I don't want to continue to see that happen. And I don't want to see that happen with somebody as great as a Micah Parsons. And I'm a firm believer in the old quote, a jack of all trades is going to be a master of none. I firmly believe you cannot try to master more than one thing at one time. And I firmly believe that Micah Parsons still has stuff to prove, okay? And most of that is stuff to prove in the playoffs. He's proved that he's a weapon. He's proved that he's one of the best pass rushers in the league, but he needs to prove that he can be impactful when it matters the most in the games that are the biggest. But he needs to prove that he can overcome those double teams, guys. I mean, I get it. He gets double teamed. He gets penalties not called for him. Every player in the league does. I don't know if y'all watch any other games, y'all, but it literally happens in every game. Does it happen to Micah Parsons a little bit more than other guys? Yes, it does. But best believe guys like Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, the rest of these guys, they're not getting all the calls they should be getting either. And at the end of the day, regardless of if you're getting calls or not, your impact has to be great enough. And when you're a player as great as a Micah Parsons can be, your impact needs to be great enough to where you can overcome those things. You can't allow double teams to be the story of your career. You can't allow, oh, the ref didn't get him out of this situation to be the story of your career. And that's where I'm coming from. Everyone is so defensive and get up in arms when someone is trying to be like, hey, he's not there yet. He hasn't made it, man. He's on his way. He's on his way, but he hasn't made it. But that's my bad. I didn't get that message across well enough. I didn't do a good enough job articulating myself without coming off as a hater. And that's my bad, and I have to apologize for that because I don't want it to seem like I'm trying to lead a hate mob against Micah. I don't ever want to do that for any of our Dallas Cowboys players, but I do want to keep it real. And for the people that feel like, oh, you're coming at Micah, but you wouldn't come at Dak like this. Dak hasn't done anything to make me need to come at him like this. Dak hasn't been in the media doing some of the stuff that he's done that would actually offend me as a fan and make me really have to figure out how I'm feeling about this and how to properly externalize it and internalize it, right? So that's kind of where I'm at with a Micah Parsons right now. Still one of my favorite players in the NFL. Still I love to watch play football. Still someone I highly believe in and think he's going to be a great player on the field, but also still someone I feel has things left to prove on and off the field. Still someone I feel needs to be very careful that he keeps the main thing the main thing. No, I'm not saying these guys shouldn't be able to do whatever they want to do off the field or whatever their free time, whatever it may be, but you gotta keep the main thing, and there should never be a question from anyone what your main thing is. And that's really where I'm coming from with it. And I apologize for if it came off any other way to any of you guys that be crying in them comments, because I'm telling you, y'all be crying in them damn comments. I mean, like, grown men be like really crying in the comments, man, like getting mad emotional for no reason. But I get it. We're all passionate here. I got emotional as well. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been as upset at Micah as I have been about me feeling as if he wasn't defending the star the way the star of the team should be defending the star. That's just kind of what it came down to. But at the end of the day, you know what? I'm going to let it go because I did have to take a step back and be like, damn, bro, I'm getting way too close to agreeing with someone like a Chris Canty. I'm getting way too close with being on the other side of a Cowboys argument with Stephen A. Smith and these guys. Regardless of how it's framed or whether there's truth to what I'm saying, I got to make sure that the way I articulate it is very clear. There's a very distinct line between I support my guys and I want the best for them, and I'm not trying to punch down on any of these guys. I'm not trying to punch down on Micah. He doesn't deserve to be punched down on, but he does deserve to be told the truth. The truth is, my brother, you still got some work to do. You still got some work to do. And y'all stop crying. Stop crying in the comments, man. Stop crying. Damn, y'all won this time with the crying, but damn, crying. How about Cowboys crying?
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy, shut up. Hey! I'm still them boys.